Greetings and welcome to another episode of 1320 Time Stream. And here we are on the second day of the night wave spell. Let's just take a look at the energies here really quickly before getting into our mini breath, which we'll do now. Okay, so right knee and right baby finger. Let's breathe in, right knee, right baby finger together. Begin when you're ready. Good, just a couple of little breaths there. Activate that lunar seed energy. So, today, as part the second day of any wave spell, we yesterday identified the purpose, and today we are identifying the challenge. So that being said, because that's just a base phenomenology of the structure of the wave spell, which is good, which is really nice. And so this brings us to the challenging aspect of the day, which is the lunar tone. And so the first thing that comes up for me around this is like twos, really seeing the twos energy. And in respect to hanging out with a friend or doing something with another person, all the way to straight up polarity, straight up like differentialism, like having a differential or almost like a reflected or polar nature, or even vibration of being like not necessarily off-put, even though there could be the differential to the point of feeling so different from another that one can be offended, because difference can go all the way in that direction. But it can also be something of a positive magnitude where the qualities, different qualities, where one has, the other does not, but has other qualities. And so there's this kind of dualism, which is also a complementary or a completionalist kind of structure or pattern, where as it shows up, it really completes us, or it completes the space that, these two energies are present or come together. So while there's this is why the polarized and stabilized, the polarized aspect is okay, they're super different. The stabilized is when they are in harmony, when they're in accord with each other, and the beautiful magic happens. And so the seed is like the idea, right? In many ways, today's a good day for planning things, ideas with like another person, brainstorming, things like that, planting the seed for the first time, and, the lunar tone, just generally because it's the lunar energy, it's also like a good time to, plant seeds around like your nurturing, plant seeds around your more lunar energies, because like in that challenge aspect, one of the precursors I find is to learn to be more subtle, because on polar type days it's possible to become triggered, by other people if those differentials happen. And so finding a beautiful middle ground, which is like cultivated on your own and by your own terms for you, is about finding that peace between the two poles, which is essentially just like the magnetism of energy that is constantly flipping back and forth between those two poles, between those two nodes. As you claim that as yourself and for yourself, kind of like in the yin yang, you have the S in the middle, the S curve, also known as the dragon line. And so one of the riddles to the yin yang is how to become the dragon, and that's to be both the yin and the yang, and neither of them at the same time, thus finding true peace. And that true peace is not to say that one is not moving, because it is a dynamically moving combination. It is a dualism. So it's about being energy that moves, knowing that you are simultaneously B and A and B, and vice versa. Both of them and none of them all at once. And so, this today is also planting seeds for that It's also planting seeds for the dynamic adaptation of singularity-inspired dualisms, or dualism-inspired singularities. This is also an interesting day for couples because the two in the seed, can also really represent like two making love, or even more than that, getting pregnant. Two seed, and of course, again, after the seed is always the serpent, and the serpent tomorrow being electric. So the electric serpent can also deeply represent like sexual energy. So today and tomorrow can have a very definitive type of sexual energy and connection based algorithm during the day. The 2C really brings up for me in that context, in the sexual energy context, of like two people participating in a seeding. And so I'm sure you can kind of imagine, where that can go, right? As a potential, as an energy that is actually happening today. Yeah, and so that feels like some of the relevant like sexual energy that's participating today. Yeah, let's see what else for the seed. Yeah, I find the real thing that stands out is the two people building something, like the complementary idea planting, or the complementary, the polar. It to me today really feels like a stabilized polarity. Um, it's not so much in conflict, it's very stabilized. So much so that it's planting seeds. It's planting seeds for that. Yeah, I would say today's a really good day to work on something with someone and make it happen. Or at least plant those seeds, so that the healthy seeds you're either planting them in a place where you feel very good about that planting, or you're nurturing, watering them, giving them attention in a way that you feel really good about how you and say whatever team member or partner is showing up to do that together. It's really based on your codes of conduct. It really feels good. Right, it's really coming from your authenticity spaces, your heart space. Yeah, this is what comes up for me here. Um, yeah, so that's going to be it for the wave spell portion of today's episode of 1520 Time Stream. And stay tuned for the affirmation.